Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Margaret from Wilma Well. Again, before we start going further, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. So every time I produce new video, you'll be the first one to get it. Again, today it's a good topic today. We have a very important topic today. We're going to talk about. I also shaved my hair, you know. Anyway, we're going to talk about what they call insulin resistance. Insulin and insulin resistance. So what is insulin? Insulin is a chemical or hormone produced by the body from the pancreas, by beta cells from the pancreas, to stimulate reuptake of glucose into the cells. For example, let's say you take in a carbohydrate, you eat carbohydrate, you drink carbohydrate, or eat smoothie, or eat anything that contains sugar. The beta cells in the pancreas will detect, or will sense the sugar level is up. And it's going to send the insulin to come and send this sugar or glucose to your muscle cells. Remember, you need sugar, glucose for energy. And how do we get that energy? It goes to your muscle cells, and that's when it's going to start working to help you move around, to help you exercising, to help you run, to get more energy to run. That's the function of insulin. It helps to open the gate, muscle cell gate, for that sugar to go into your muscle cell. And when time goes by, you keep eating the sugar, and your muscle cells need it. And the time will come when your muscle cells do not need sugar anymore. And the insulin will lock up and say, you know what? That's it. The muscle cell have enough sugar. I'm not going to send any sugar in your muscle cells. And so as you continue eating, remember the sugar, the extra calorie is still coming in. But the muscle cell is already locked up because there's no need of sugar in there anymore. You have enough. So where is this excess sugar is going? So the body has a way of storing this sugar with the insulin. Insulin has a way of help your sugar to store this extra calorie, reuptake of this calorie, and store them, into your fat cells. Store them into your fat cells. So you keep eating extra sugar coming in, glucose, instead of going to the cells because your cells already fill up, it's going to be stored now into your fat cells, because the insulin has that ability to convert these fat cells, this extra calorie into the fat cells. So extra sugar go to your bloodstream, be converted by the insulin, and store into your fat cells as fat. If you continue taking more sugar, more than what your muscle cells need, all this extra calorie that you consume is now just going to be fat. And that's when we start having all this abdominal gut, the big old belly, the fat belly, full of fat. And again, you know that all that cholesterol fat is going to be stored in the liver too. So, as you keep consuming all this fat, keep going, so as the blood sugar keep going up high and high in your bloodstream, and more insulin gonna be produced. Remember that your fat cell already locked up. It doesn't need no extra sugar because you keep eating more sugar that your muscle cells need. So all this fat, all this calorie that you're taking in, they're gonna make the beta cells to just keep producing more insulin, and all this extra calorie gonna be converted into fat. into your fat cells. And guess what? There's so many risk factors. So if there's no more way, your body cannot send that, your muscle cell already locked up and nothing going in there. And as you continue doing this, eating this stuff, and fat is, the calorie is going to be converted to fat, and it's just stay there. And then there's a time that you keep consuming this, and you are, because of the excess sugar in your bloodstream, the excess insulin will be produced. But there's a time that your beta cells in pancreas will be worn out, and now it cannot produce any insulin, and that's when you become insulin resistant. Because no way you can use insulin anymore, because insulin is not going to be produced, because your beta cells is tired of producing that. Now your blood sugar goes up, you become insulin resistant. Your blood sugar level goes up. When your blood sugar level goes up and it stays up, some people will become diabetic. Some people will just stay insulin resistant, that they cannot, there's no insulin anymore. So insulin resistant, nothing is coming out anymore. And your blood sugar is just keep going up. And so and this can cause the effect of insulin resistance. Things like obesity. When you have a big fat belly there, it's going to cause obesity. When the blood sugar keep going up, it go to your bloodstream, it stay in your blood vessel, increase your cholesterol level. When that cholesterol level increase you at risk of having arterial disease or coronary arterial disease, and people end up having what they call coronary arterial disease, which is risk factor for heart attack. Plaque build up in your heart. You go to your doctor's office, they do what they call angiogram or left heart cath to check if there's any cholesterol in the heart. And because of all this excess blood sugar, you are insulin resistance, because there's no insulin that's gonna reuptake this sugar anymore, because everything else is worn out. Your pancreas is tired, it cannot produce any of that insulin. Your beta cells is tired, it cannot produce any insulin. Your blood sugars keep going up. Because of that, you can have decreased good cholesterol, increased triglyceride, increased cholesterol in general. Also, you can have increased high blood pressure due to all that excess sugar in your body and excess fat, obesity. Also, for male, they can have decreased testosterone level. And when you have a decreased testosterone level, which means it reduces sex drive, and you have erection problem or abnormality to your sex drive. For female, you might have what they call polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. PCOS, if you are insulin resistant, you can have the effect of insulin resistance can cause PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a leading cause of infertility in the United States with so many women. How do you know you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS? Like if you're a woman, you start having irregular ovulation, irregular period, you're trying to conceive, you can't conceive, you're asking yourself why. So you want to make sure you get checked by your doctor. Do you have PCOS? Those things like that can be an effect of insulin resistance. Also, for women, sometimes women might have what they call increased level of testosterone, a production of testosterone. When your insulin resistance high, it can also, you become insulin resistant, you can have risk factor of developing increased testosterone level. And so when you have increased testosterone level, that's when you will find women have growing facial hair, and sometimes they can have thinning of the hair in the head, they might have acne. So things like that can also be effect of insulin resistance. How do you know you are insulin resistant? So in order for you to know that you are insulin resistant, the best way to know that, you have to check with your healthcare provider. They're going to do some testing to make sure that you have all that things like they check your hemoglobin 1C, which can detect if you're diabetic or not. They can check your blood pressure. They can check what they call waist to hip ratio. For male, you're supposed to be, anytime if you have greater than or equal to 40 waist to hip ratio, that could be insulin resistance. For female, if it's more than waist to hip ratio, if it's more than or equal to 35 up, it can indicate that you have insulin resistance. So all that, in order for you to know that you are insulin resistance, you have to check with your provider. You have to do lab work. And again, all this, in order to prevent or to help people not to fall into this category of insulin resistance, the main thing is exercise. Eat healthy. Whole food, plant-based diet, if you want to do that. Those are the things that can help you lower, decrease weight, if you're overweight and things like that. But mostly exercise. Exercise would help regulate your blood sugar very faster. Insulin very fast. So the main thing is exercise, eating healthy, follow up with your doctor, follow your doctor or your provider recommendation, and to be better. Again, thank you for listening to this topic, and you can put any comment or for us to be able to interact. And also you can follow us at wilmawell.com. Call us. I do one-on-one coaching. Again, thank you very much, and just stay blessed.